A warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais, deans, associate deans, invitees, faculty members, staff, PGP students, and most importantly, all of you, the students of the 29th batch of PGDM and 3rd batch of PGDM Healthcare, formally joining TAPMI family today. All of you are supposed to join the illustrious TAPMI family, which has contributed more than 2,500 alumni serving in various organizations in the corporates today. They are serving in India and abroad also. A quick peep into the profile of your batch shows some interesting statistics to put forth. This batch has 309 PGDM students and 24 healthcare management students, totaling to a magical figure of 333. On the gender proportion, we have 29 representation by the girls in this batch. The PGDM batch yet dominates with engineering degrees with average 2.5 years experience in the corporate. They represent 78% of the batch. In the healthcare section, we have 38 representation by the pharma graduates. We have one doctor, MBBS, we have one dentist, and others. Interestingly, the strength of TAPMI lies in the pan-India presence, and this year we have students of this batch coming from 18 states covering 92 different places in India. Dear students, this day is all about you. You have come along from your homes, possibly leaving the comfort of your homes also, but all of you have come with a specific thinking in mind that you want to be something. I am sure all of you are excited to have this journey. To take our excitement forward, I now invite Sri Parna, our student of the PGP2, to render the invocation song.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषार हार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यपहा.
Thank you, Sri Parna. I now invite all the dignitaries on the dais to formally declare the inaugural function open by lighting the lamp. We have today Mr. Gautam Pai, the Managing Director of Manipal Technologies Limited, and the Chief Guest. We are also honored to have amidst us Dr. Shantaram, Trustee and Member TAPMI Governing Council as our guest of honor, and Dr. H.S. Ballard, Pro-Chancellor, Manipal University, who will preside over the function. As a mark of respect, I now invite our Director, Dr. R.C. Natarajan, to offer floral welcome to all the three guests. To the Chief Guest, Mr. Gautam Pai. To Dr. Ballard, the Pro-Chancellor of Manipal University. To Dr. Shantaram, Member Governing Council, TAPMI. I now request our Director, Dr. Natarajan, to give in the welcome address.
Respected Chief Guest of the morning, Shri Gautam Pai, respected Dr. H.S. Ballal, respected Dr. H. Shantaram, respected members of the faculty and staff, and my dear students. Good morning to all of you. Among you, the students, most of you have had excellent educational opportunities till your graduation. Most of you have worked in organizations, and all of you hail from various parts of this country. I'm sure you had to make certain sacrifices to pursue this path of your career. Sacrifice of being far away from your hometown, being out of the cozy comforts of your home, leaving your close friends behind, and being away from the festivities of the company of your kith and kin. Nothing comes free in this world, everything is a bundle. A bundle of what we like and what we may not like. You must be having doubts. Have I made the right decision? Is this the place I want to spend my next 2 years? Will I be able to cope with this program? Will I be able to realize my dreams from here? Rest assured, you are not alone. You all came by different ship, but you're all in the same boat. You have come to the beautiful town of Manipal, a place where you inhale very little carbon monoxide, unless you choose to buy it yourself. Where you don't have to elbow your way into the buses and trains, where you learn to live among the flora and the fauna, amid nature. The buzz of cosmopolitan cities will be missing in this town, but there is enough activity. There is enough peace and serenity, enough time available with you to live and learn, enough peace to be with yourself. I welcome you all to this beautiful town. All of you are young, energetic, and qualified boys and girls. You possess a lot of knowledge and information, tech savvy. You all have the drive to make it big in life. With this end, you have come to the right place to save hands. Over the next 2 years, you will live a life that you would not have expected. You will get experiences that you did not anticipate. You will learn aspects that you seldom imagined existed. For many of you, for the first time in life, there will be someone who tells you what kind of life you should lead. There will be someone who will decide whether a marriage in your family is important or not. There will be someone who will tell you whether you are actually knowledgeable or you think you are. Suddenly you realize that there are fences around you, and someone is telling you to run faster, carrying the fence with you, and someone who keeps shifting the final post as well. And in this race, you will be assessed for your performance and at the same time expected to learn to live a happy and purposeful life. I know getting into TAPMI is tough and staying in the race is even tougher. I'm certain that many of you walk in with the feeling that you know the answers to many questions. We are here to make you realize that you probably do not know. Worse, you certainly do not know what the questions are. You will find it intriguing that to the same question, one faculty member tells you your answer is brilliant, and another faculty member tells you that you are completely wrong. We endeavor to transform you. Instead of seeking our permissions, you will come up with solutions. Instead of perceiving conflicts, you will come up with resolutions. From a tendency to immediately answering questions, you will come to a stage where you will respond, I don't know the answer, but that's an interesting question. Why didn't I think of? From boys and girls, you metamorphose into gentlemen and ladies. Then we tell you, you are ready to be manager, and we award you the diploma. I once again welcome you all to experience the next 2 years, significant 2 years that you will always cherish, the part of your life called TAPMI. God bless.
Warm welcome to the gathering. I now take the pleasure of introducing Mr. Gautam Pai, the chief guest of the function. Mr. Gautam Pai is a third generation entrepreneur spearheading the globally acclaimed Manipal group. Often referred to as a visionary, his ambition is to build a sustainable, high-growth institution driven by core values of honesty, reliability, innovation, pioneering, and respect for all individuals. Since taking charge of the family-run business in 1997, he has boosted the business from a gross turnover of 35 crore to an exponential 2000 crore plus. Today, the Manipal Group is well diversified with a dominant position in media, printing and packaging, security and transaction solutions, information technology, advertising, event management, entertainment, energy and infra, trading and manufacturing of home fragrance products. The group has a presence in India, US and Africa with over 6,000 employees. Mr. Gautam Pai obtained a BTech in printing technology from Manipal Institute of Technology and gained tremendous hands-on experience in college days at Manipal Technologies Limited, the then Manipal Power Press, managed by his father, Shri Satish U. Pai. An inherent excellence in people management, a healthy ambition, and a clear business vision to go global has earned him the respect and recognition amongst business associates and employees. He is an avid reader, enjoys traveling, and connecting across business domains with people who inspire him and those he can learn from. I welcome you, sir, to the function. And I request you to address the students, please.
Good morning. Respected guests of this function, Mr. Professor Ballal, Mr. Shantaram, the faculty members of TAPMI, Director of TAPMI, Mr. Natarajan, students and friends. It's my pleasure to be among you this morning on the occasion of the induction program for the 2012-14 batch of TAPMI. I was expecting to see a much smaller gathering. My interaction with the students in TAPMI in the past has always been during the recruitment time. So I tend to see smaller groups. I never knew that would be 300 plus students joining TAPMI. It's very nice to see so many students in TAPMI and in Manipal. I think first I would like to congratulate all of you for getting admission in a fine institute like TAPMI. TAPMI in the past few years has seen a resurgence in the sense that moving up in terms of the where they stand in the institutions in India, as well as getting very courted accreditations in the recent past. There's a new beautiful campus here, and also Manipal is a really nice place for students to study. I studied and lived all my life in Manipal as well. So I think the next 2 years, apart from I think other things that you develop as studying in a multicultural university town like Manipal, will be able to give a strong foundation for your managerial skills, developing your business as well as your entrepreneurial instincts. And I think that foundation is basically what's very, very important. I would like to share a few thoughts of mine. Professor Natarajan said that I should try and give a perspective of what companies or CEOs would look at while recruiting from business schools. I think apart from that, I would like to share, I think, how corporate India is today, and I think what will be really useful apart from competence in terms of managerial and leadership abilities, which will help your own careers. I think the first thing I would say is that I believe it's very important for everyone to start with a goal and purpose. Right? It might be something which comes over time or something which you need to discover, but I think it's very important. I'm sure all of you, most of you must have read Alice in Wonderland story at some point in your life. Right? So when Alice comes to the fork in the road and asks the Cheshire cat that which road she should take, the cat basically asks her, where does she want to go? Right? And when she says, I don't know, the cat tells her, then it doesn't matter which road you take, because if you don't know where you want to go, you can take any road. So I think knowing where you want to go becomes very important. But having said that, it can come to us at different points in life. It's not something which is very easy. but I think it's very important to work on it, right? Being aware that you need to find it itself, I think, is the first step, an important step. So I think the goal and purpose of where you want to go, I think from where I see it, it comes easily from two areas. One, it comes from your own strengths, and second is what you're passionate about, right? I think too much time is spent nowadays on looking at weaknesses of people, right? Right. I think I'm a strong believer that one should focus on one's strength and people's strength, because I think every minute spent on developing one's strength gives far more return than you spend on someone's weaknesses. I was traveling last week, and I was on Saturday when I was flying on international flight. I watched this movie called The Blind Spot. Has anyone watched the movie Blind Spot? Okay, it's a very nice movie with I think it's 2009. It's a semi-biographical drama. It's about a boy called, in the movie, called Big Mike, right? Sorry, Blind Side. And the boy basically is a black boy, about 17 years old. And he basically does not have parents. In the sense, he has parents, but he's been living alone most of his life. He's moving from one home to other. And when he gets into a school, because one of his dad's friend puts him there and convinces the coach to take him there because of his possible athletic abilities. And he makes friends with a boy there who's Sandra Bullock's son. And one day when she sees him walking in a cold winter night with just shorts and t-shirt, she realizes that he doesn't have a place to stay. So she takes him home and makes him part of their home, and takes care of him. And the next day when he's leaving home, she invites him to stay over and spend Thanksgiving with them. Slowly he becomes part of their family. But essentially what happens is that while he's weak in academics and things like that, she realizes that he's got some strengths in terms of protective instinct, and she helps him work on that, and ultimately basically he gets into the NFL league and becomes one of the star players, because she teaches him that how she can protect the team like he would with his family, right? He becomes a very prominent football player. So I think working on one's strength is extremely important, and to discover what we are strong in. And while we do that, we need to, of course, address our weaknesses to weaken them. We can never eliminate them, because a lot of times I've seen in corporate world, people can derail the careers because of some of the weaknesses, especially when it comes to behavioral weaknesses, right? Because there's some things, however competent one is, once you go up the ladder, if you have issues in terms of people management, you're weak in EQ, it becomes a big roadblock. So if there are such issues, of course one should be aware of it and try to address it, but always one should work on their strengths. We haven't seen any of the superstars today becoming successful because of working the weaknesses, right? It's always about developing on their strengths. And then second, of course, is to see what really inspires us, what energizes us, to find what we are passionate about. And I think these two kind of give the direction in terms of discovering our goals and purpose. And if you're able to map this to opportunities in the market, opportunities in terms of career, I think that's where one really excels, and that one really does really well. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you. Second is in terms of dreaming big. I think today there's so much of opportunity out there in any field that we want to create something. I think one should always dream big, and as all of you know, everything is created twice, once in our mind and once in reality. And whether we believe we can do it or we believe we can't, it's both is true. And if we dream and if we believe we can do it, half our work is done. But having said that, once we dream and once we believe, we need to take some action. It's not enough we stare up the stairs. We need to climb it. We need to work on it. And I think while we do it, we need to really do whatever we do with excellence. We need to really try and be the best at it, because it's a very, very competitive world out there, right? And even at the top 3-4 percentile, there's so much competition. Just competence is not enough. So you need to do far more than what's required to be successful. It's like if you go to Bombay on the footpath on a busy day. A lot of people from Bombay here, anyone from? So when you go on a crowded footpath, unless you walk fast enough, right? Or you need to walk fast enough, or you need to give way, right? It's so crowded. You can't get down because then you'll run over by vehicles, right? So it's like that. The world is so competitive. We need to really have that competitive attitude. Need to be very proactive. Need to ensure that we make excellence a part of our life, so we have a much better chance of succeeding versus other people out there. So I think during the next 2 years, if you can make that as an habit, make that you give it 100% in whatever you're trying to do, I think it will go a long way in the future, because some habits are, for life. Once you create it, it remains with you for good. As you over the next 2 years, as you work towards developing yourselves to become managers and leaders, I think you need to give a lot of thought to your development, apart from competence, on the real skills that it requires to become good managers and good leaders. We need to learn to be good managers for the people above us, so to be able to execute in a good manner. And need to be good leaders, learn to be good leaders for people working under us, so that we are able to align people, able to give them direction. So both these qualities, I think, are very important in whichever roles you take after you finish your program. And I think these 2 years you need to take developing that. The next thing I feel very important is in terms of values. All of you know the various scandals globally within our country. Corporate India has seen, be it in corporate India or in government. Government is always there, but I think corporate India is also has seen a lot of lot of scandals. So I think integrity is something which is non-compromisable, and I think when companies hire their future managers and leaders,